When I was nervous, I cycled through the 7 histories of Shran in my head. And when I was very, very nervous, they tripped their way off of my tongue like tumbled stones, growing brighter with every telling. My favourite is the story of Shran's youngest son, Salarahan, who was interred alive without his heart. The organ was held instead for many blood-won years by brother after brother as a powerful totem. Salarahan rose from his living grave after his brothers had slain each other and all but destroyed their father's kingdom, reclaiming his heart and the hearts of his people. As Salarahan did, I preferred the keeping of stories and animals and children reared not to fight, but to tend to children and animals and stories after them. It was in my blood, his gentleness, though my brother and sisters were more like bulls than the tiny, cautious bird I was named after, Eiren. It fled my mother's lips no sooner than she'd kissed my birth-slicked head, her last daughter, and the last in a long, diluted line beginning with that gentle prince. But even as I opened my mouth to begin his story, a look from my mother silenced me, her dark eyes full of meaning. They were outside the bolted door, listening, our captors, and they were no more worthy of a tale from me than they were the kingdom they had snatched from us. It was not the work of wartime to prefer words to action, but I was no warrior, for all we'd been at war most of my life. My father liked to say that the conflict began when my fingernails needed their first clippings, and after 15 bloody years, I had bitten mine to the quick as we waited to surrender, prisoners in the palace that had once been our home. Ours was a story I didn't want to tell, but even as I sweated and shook with worry over our fate, already the details of the narrative collected in my mind. I looked at my mother, her heart breaking over and over again on her face and bleeding deep in the lines newly etched there, at my father and brother, my sisters, and knew they were no more ready to hear it than I was to tell it. But some stories are like hearts falling heavily into love. They cannot be stopped once they have been started. Bolted or not, I felt sure the reliquary door would buckle in the oppressive humidity of sorrow. We were all hot and nervous and trying to hide it. My mother and father from each other, my brother from my sisters from each other. Nobody bothered trying to hide anything from me. I stirred a thick layer of sand with my bare feet, evidence of the years of neglect since we had been forced to abandon our capital for the deep deserts.